this time last year, we were really apprehensive that how will be if the work we done for like 1 year. What if the new president refused to sign the bill? What would have happened? That was around this time last year. We were still running up and down and not knowing what will happen, because the bill was passed by the 9th Assembly. Usually, when a new government comes in, they want to jettison all the things that the former government did before they got there. So we were really apprehensive. We didn't know what was going to happen, and everybody was worried. But I kept faith in God, and people kept asking me questions. Are you sure this bill will be passed or will be signed by the president? I said, yes, it will pass. Oh, Mr. Solomon will be able to witness. The development partner that supported us, they were worried because the assent to the bill was a major milestone and a major prerequisite to the support they are offering some organizations in Nigeria in the area of digital ID. So everybody was worried. I just kept telling everyone that, yes, Mr. President will sign the bill. How? I didn't know. When? I didn't know. But I just knew. Something just kept telling me that, yes, it will happen. So, on the 12th of June, which will be tomorrow, eventually, Mr. President signed the bill to an act of parliament. It shows so many things, it speaks to so many things. The fact that this ecosystem is beyond anybody. It's beyond all of us here. It's a global phenomenon that no country, no forward-looking country can afford to neglect. And thank God, the type of the president that we have now, who understands technologies and the powers of technologies, and the fact that the bedrock of anything you do, the area of digital technology is your foundational ID. And without adequate protection of this ID, everybody is exposed. And it has grave consequences. So absolutely he understands this. More important that he had tried in Lagos. For instance, moving the NGR of Lagos State from barely 600 million naira to about 27 billion before he left, through the deployment of technologies. And in so many areas too. And looking at the 8-point agenda of the Renewable Initiative, technologies will be used to drive everything there. And it speaks to the fact that there is no escape from technology. And there is nothing that you can do in this current world without effective deployment of technology. You cannot achieve anything. And the area of identity is really key. So the need for the rights, the freedom, and the interest of all citizens of Nigeria, wherever they are, is very paramount in the heart of Mr. President. And he understands it, and that was why he signed the bill to an act of parliament. So when the news came, I received a call from one of our people there that Mr. President had signed. I didn't even know what to say. I was just looking. I couldn't rejoice. I couldn't, because I worked for 8 years. Because without saying that would have been an end to this initiative, this process, which is a global thing, which we started in Nigeria. That would have been an end to it. Where if the new government doesn't recognize what we are doing, we are nowhere. So signing now gave us more credibility. More important, the new administration. Oh, Mr. President just came in, he signed this bill in less than 2 weeks. Something must behave. And that's why we'll be attracting a lot of attentions within Nigeria and at the global level. One important thing that happened immediately the act was signed was the fact that we had applied to the Global Privacy Assembly a year before. That was in 2022. Immediately was set up as a bureau. They rejected our application because we didn't have a national legislation on data privacy and protection, and we didn't have an independent data protection authority. These are part of the major criteria they look at when they want to accept you as a member of the GPA. And by the way, we're on the front page of their newsletter this quarter. Nigerian Transition Commission is on the front page of the Global Policy Assembly's newsletter. It's not a mere feat. We started, they accredited us less than 1 year, and we already occupied the front page in their newsletter. It's a big deal to us. A lot of countries that had their laws before, they're asking us, how did we do it? How did we even get it? I remember at NATPA, Fatima, you were there with me, and Salatu. Some of them were, how would they become members of GPA, that's Global Policy Assembly? Sometimes it was so difficult, they were seeking for the support of even NATPA to support them. That's the Network of African Transition Authorities, to support them, to speak to the applications that could be accepted. We took the mic and we explained to them the procedures and the criteria for you to be a member of the GPA. So we are taking a front role in Africa and globally now because of that law that Mr. President passed. And the same law transitioned the Bureau to a commission. The Bureau didn't have a law. It was set up mainly to implement the NDPR. And the dilemma there was, will you have an institution of government without a law, or will you pursue the law with that institution? We took a risk. We made a recommendation to the former president that, well, let's see what will happen. Some people were referring to us as illegitimate institution. But the law actually legitimized the Nigerian Transition Commission. And here we can stand and raise our heads up that we have gained global recognition and made a lot of impact in terms of recording the rights of our citizens, looking at the obligations of data controllers and processors, knowing that data subjects are the supreme being here. Like I was on channels sometime last year. One of the questions I was asked was, this law, is it for the people or for government? I said it's for the people. By the way, government is made up of people. So all we're interested in is the citizens of this country. And in terms of scope, if you're a data controller, a data processor, you are domiciled in Nigeria, you process data of Nigerians, you are within scope. And if you're a data controller or processor, you're outside, you are not domiciled in Nigeria, you operate outside Nigeria, but you process the data of Nigerians, you are within scope. And one thing that the law has empowered us to do now is to work with other DPAs, data protection authorities, to enforce our laws in their jurisdictions. And through that, we are working with a lot of DPAs, Kenya, Ghana, even ICO, Canada, Singapore. Some of us will be going to China in the next 1 or 2 weeks. A lot of attention everywhere, just because of this law. And in terms of economic value, we have an ecosystem that is worth over 10 billion naira now, also because of the law. But in the area of foreign direct investment, this law has now positioned Nigeria as a country that is ready for digital business. Because most countries now, development partners, in fact, there are some development partners doing one thing or the other with a lot of organizations in Nigeria. The first they worked at, you have a data protection law. When we didn't have, none of them was ready to support us. But with this law, you have a data protection, let's meet with them. And that's why every day, when you come to office, it's always activities. People coming to meet us on one thing or the other, wanting to know about the law. And because of the detailed work that we did with the consultant that work with us, this law is now seen as the most progressive globally. Not even by us, a lot of DPAs. Even some DPAs now are now taking their laws back to their parliament for amendment because of some lessons they've learned from us. Yes, we came late, but to be able to leapfrog and even overtake those that we made there. And that's one thing that's very unique about Nigeria and Nigerians. Like just for us to start something, by the time we start, we put in everything into it: risk, energy, power, whatever we have, skills. We put everything into it, and that's why we always best in whatever we are doing. And this is one example of this that we are showcasing globally. Also, because of this law, and being a member of NATPA, we won the hosting right to bring all African countries, all DPAs in Africa to Nigeria in May next year. Without the law, without the Independent Data Protection Authority, they wouldn't allow you. We were in Nairobi about 6 weeks ago. 3 countries still came as observers. As an observer, you can't even speak. Not talk of hosting the whole of Africa, and by extension, the whole Africa. The whole world. Okay. So because of that law that we have, we are now bringing all of them to Africa. You know what that speaks to in terms of economic value, tourism and culture, perception about this country, foreign direct investment. Because a lot of investors will be coming. Because bringing about 30 African countries together in one room is huge for an average investor, for an average development partner. Because if you have to travel to about 30 countries, you know what that will cost, and you even get their attention. Unlike when you have all of them in one room, speaking with one voice, having a vision where we are headed, how we want to get there, is a real opportunity, big, huge one for us in Nigeria, just because of this law. In terms of job creation, in terms of training, workshops, awareness, we've done a lot to ensure that we are properly deepening issues around data privacy and protection in Nigeria. And as an extension of this, in terms of recognition, data.org is a global brand in terms of capacity building in the area of data management. Part of what we are doing under the ministry now, with the support of the Honorable Minister, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, is to train 10,000 public servants in responsible data management. The portal is already opened, and we are doing about 5,000 registration now. We want to get to that 10,000 mark. By the time we do that, we will now commence training, which will be in 3 levels, level 1, 2, 3, even up to level of certification. These are things that we'll be able to achieve. Job creation, and very soon, part of what we have even done also is to have a national certification body, and I'm sure some of you may be aware of this, that we have licensed a national certification body instead of writing foreign exams to be certified as data protection officers or professionals in the country. We now have a national certification process, and we have designed it in a way that there is something in it for everybody. Our already licensed DPCOs will do the training, while the certification body will conduct the exams and the certification. So it's a big ecosystem that we also created. In fact, through launching this as a commission, we are launching the training of 1,000 data protection officers that will be trained and certified within the next 1 month. The process is already in the works. And whoever is interested, I had told friends there before that you can also create a profession from this ecosystem, apart from being a journalist or a media personnel. You can create a profession from this. If you are trained and certified as a data protection officer, you can still be doing what you are doing now, be serving as a DPO for your organizations. So the portal will soon be opened. We advise all of you to benefit from this. If you are to pay, you can't be less than $1,000 for the training and certification, but we are offering this free of charge as part of the job creation initiative of Mr. President. And I think we should be able to clap for Mr. President. So there are so many things coming to this ecosystem, the area of job creation, awareness, respect for the country, perception about who we are, what we are capable of doing in the country, all these negative perception. This is one good thing that is coming out of Nigeria at this critical moment. And all I just wish for all of us to support this process. I don't want to talk too much. I think it's better to take more questions and answer them. Thank you very much.